My name is Florian Schnapphoff, and it's my pleasure to be hosting you today. And I'm not alone. I'm joined today by Rakesh Vashishta. Welcome, Rakesh.
Thank you, Florian. It's my pleasure to be on your podcast.
Thank you for being here and for taking the time. Now, Rakesh, we've been knowing each other for a little while, but for those of you in the audience who don't know you, can you share a little bit about yourself, what you're doing? You're working with Boehringer Ingelheim. Maybe tell a little bit about yourself and what brought you here today.
Absolutely, my pleasure to always do a small commercial on myself. So I've been in the industry for almost 30 years, and I've done all the roles possibly you can do on the commercial side of a pharmaceutical company as a sales rep, plus-line sales managers, training manager, Salesforce excellence manager with 4 companies, 4 fantastic companies, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Allergan. And for the last 9 years, I'm working with Boehringer Ingelheim. My current role is Global Head of Customer-Facing Execution Excellence, and I'm based in corporate headquarters in England.
Well, quite impressive. Lots of stations, a lot of different organizations you've been working for, lots of geographies you've also experienced.
Indeed.
But I think the common nucleus, as I understand it, is always around Salesforce excellence, or maybe we can call it commercial excellence, different aspects of it. Tell us a little bit about why that is important or how that is driving your career. Why is it that topic? How did that come about?
That's a great question. And my entry into pharmaceutical industry was not accidental entry. For many people, it is. So they know someone who is a rep or someone who's a product manager and they enter the industry. But mine was well planned. I really wanted to be in this industry. And when I was a child growing up in India, I used to live with my grandma. And like many old people, she used to take medicine. So I fell in love with medicines very early in my life because she would say, "Can you get me that medicine? Can you get me that medicine?" So I opened the blister, gave the medicine. So I've seen how patients benefit from medicines with my own eyes when I was living with my grandparents in India. So when I was in my university, I thought that I want to work for an industry that really makes difference to the lives, makes difference to the patients. And that's how I got into this industry. So my main motivation is helping patients. And in pharmaceutical industry, if you are not reaching out in a successful manner to your SCPs, healthcare professionals, you cannot reach your patients effectively. So that's my biggest motivation and pride in being a commercial excellence expert. That by doing this job, I help in ensuring that our medicines reach millions and millions and millions of patients and improve quality of their lives.
Okay, that's a very interesting story. So from very early days, you've already been captured by that fantastic industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, tell us a bit more about how you see that topic of excellence, commercial excellence. So you've been in the industry, as you say, for quite a while. How has your perspective on that changed? What does it even mean to you?
It has changed dramatically, Florian, particularly in the last 10 years. So I recall in 2008 with my previous company, we started a project to introduce a tablet PC-based detailing. There was no iPad at that time. Internet was still very slow. The concept of closed-loop marketing was emerging, and there was no Viva. Yeah. So if I look at last 15 years, the changes have been seismic. Yeah. The expectation from the role of customer-facing teams have grown exponentially. So in 2007 or 8, our customer-facing teams would be mostly face-to-face, mostly on the paper-based detail aids or pamphlets or leave-behinds. But if you look at the role of customer-facing teams today and the expectations from them, it's very different. We expect them to be omnichannel. We expect them to use the technology. We have Viva CRM system. We have iPads. And we have many other tools and technologies that make them really, really more powerful. So this change has been incredible. I don't think it's over yet, or it will ever be over. It will continue. The journey will continue. So if I think of myself 15 years ago, I was very customer-facing, team-focused person because that's our biggest investment in our industry. But when I look at myself and my team today, we are not thinking customer-facing teams. We are thinking customers and patients. And so there's a big shift in the mindset from thinking internally to we are thinking externally. And we want to leverage technology to create amazing customer experience and amazing patient experience. So that's a big shift in our mindset.
Okay, well, fascinating. There's a lot of things in there. Before we deep dive into some of these things, customer experience, you mentioned patient experience, which is becoming ever more important in today's world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe let's go to the basics around commercial excellence. What do you think are the fundamentals of commercial excellence? What needs to come together? I think you mentioned a couple of elements, but how do you view the core principles of it? And obviously the industry today is changing into modern world, but what are for you the core principles of customer excellence? What needs to come together?
So for me, the starting point is understanding your customers. And I can tell you, even today, we do not understand our customers as good as we would like them to know. And that's the starting point. Understand your customers. Okay. That's the first building block. The second thing is respect their preferences, respect their likings and dislikings. Don't push the channels or the content or activities that your customers do not like. So be customer-centric. Understand your customers and be customer-centric by planning your engagements with your physicians, planning your content for your physicians, your messages for the physicians, so that customer is in the center of that. And obviously, define what good looks like for everyone internally. And have an alignment on that topic, what good looks like, because if as an organization, you are not aligned on what good looks like, chances are you will not achieve it. Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
And once you have done that, you constantly need to track, are you moving towards that area, that goal, what good looks like, or you're moving away from it, and then you need to fix it so that you are moving in the right direction. So the building blocks for me, Florian, the first one is definitely understanding your customer, customer-centric engagement planning, and execution excellence. So those are the three very important building blocks.
Okay. Now, if we look at those maybe in that order, and you reflect a little bit on where do you see the biggest challenges also, and maybe reflecting on your work and your team's work of where you put your emphasis, and starting with understanding the customer. Take us a little bit into that world and into that process. Why is it so difficult? Why don't we understand the customer maybe as well as we should be understanding them today? And what's the main challenges that you are also working on?
So often people say problem of clarity is a good problem, but not in case of commercial excellence. Now, we have plenty of platforms, plenty of activities, and integrations is not that great. For years together, industry has been talking about 360-degree view of the customer, and I can keep my head on my heart. They're not there yet. A great platform, Viva. Then there are other companies providing us data, and it's not that easy to bring everything together to create 360-degree view on the customer. Everyone is trying, but I don't know why it's still not there where it should be. And the hope is with artificial intelligence in future, will do a good job of understanding our customers. So that's the first big challenge. Integration is not that great between different platforms. The second challenge we have is sometimes accuracy or completeness of the data. So we have a data which is either incomplete or not 100% accurate, and you do plans based on that data. So obviously, it's not going to be a great plan because you don't understand the customer now very well. The third thing, I think, in our industry, products are protected by IP for many, many years. And the bonding platform for understanding your customers is not burning fast enough. So the desire, the motivation, the push to understand your customers 100% needs to be a little bit stronger. So it's not an option, but it is something that everyone has to do.
Are you sometimes overwhelmed by the amount of data that is out there? How do you know where to look, basically?
The answer is often I'm overwhelmed with quantity of data. So I go back to what I said in the beginning. In case of commercial excellence, problem of plenty is not a good problem. Yeah. In our case, less is more. Mm-hmm. So we want to seek lesser but highly valuable, highly accurate, actionable insights. Mm-hmm. So don't throw a bucket of data on my head, but give me sprinkles of data that I would love. Okay. So often what's happening that I'm trying to bring water from a house pipe. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult. So less is more, what I strongly believe in case of data. What are you going to do even if you have thousands of data points about our customers? They're not actionable. Yeah. What is the ultimate objective of having data? And why do we have data? We want to create great customer experience. And there is a reason behind creating exceptional customer experience. We want that more and more patients should benefit with the great products that we invent. We spend billions and billions of euros in inventing a product, bringing it to the market. So if some patients do not benefit from that, it's a shame for all of us, right? So I think the expectation I have, give us less, but accurate and valuable data.
Okay, so high quality rated, actionable, as you say, data. Okay. If we move to the second pillar of fundamental saying, so the first one was understanding the customer. The second one was customer preferences, right? And here we're going into that. Yeah, you're laughing. The old discussion also around push potentially versus pull, yet that is becoming more prevalent in our beloved industry. Take us into your perspective on understanding customer preferences. So data probably is an enabler for that, but what does that really mean? And then maybe we'll get to the how to act on the point.
So some of my colleagues, they laugh when I give them old Henry Ford saying, if I ask people, what do you want? People will say that I want faster horses, not a car. Yeah. So many times we do not know what we want. Mm-hmm. And someone brings something, and then we say, wow, that's good. Your CRM system is a great example. You need to life science, and you have a huge market share. The reason being that people did not know that there could be a product as great as this, right? Same is true for customer preferences. Many times we assume that our customers want faster houses. Not necessarily, okay? Maybe they want a different solution and they don't know it. So there are two types of customer preferences we are talking here. One is the stated. You ask the customer, how would you like us to engage with you? How frequently? What type of content you are interested in? And the second one is observed. So one thing is they say, another thing is that they do. That's what you need to believe in, what they do actually. Okay, which channel they're more engageable with. Okay, do they accept no face-to-face calls? Do they accept more engaged calls? Do they open more emails? Do they like to talk on the phone? So I've often seen a big gap between what physicians say and what they do. And I believe that what they do is the real preference.
How do you find that out? How do you do that?
So your CRM system itself is a great tool to see in dynamic attributes what physicians stated when our reps did the survey with them. And then we see which channel got highest level of acceptance. And some of this can be done outside of CRM as well by developing in-house digital footprint analysis tools. Yeah. So that's the key to know what physicians do, not what they say. And that's how you know their preferences.
Okay. So it's kind of drawing insights from your interactions and having that feedback loop so you can learn from it. How's that changing? What do you observe preferences of HCPs? Maybe to just go a little bit on that tangent. What is it you're observing in the last couple of years? How a preference is changing?
So I'll not talk about pandemic period because it was an exception. So it doesn't make sense to talk about that. But if I talk about last 2 years or so, and Revapo's data clearly shows that non-face-to-face interaction percentage in total number of interaction has increased dramatically in comparison to pre-pandemic period. So recall in 2019, in most part of the world, our interactions would be 98 to 99% face-to-face.
Yeah.
But today, that percentage has come down significantly. And it's not because of us, it's because of our customers, because they want to engage with us differently. Yeah. So digital engagements have risen dramatically in the last few years. Okay. Not to the extent where you can think about, hey, can we be a 100% digital company? I don't think that would be a situation at least in the next 10 to 15 years. Yeah. We'll see face-to-face will continue to be the main mode of interacting with the customers. But I also anticipate that digital interactions, as the quality and stability of the platform improves, percentage will increase video calls, emails, and WhatsApp type of messages, your Viva Engage Connect. And so I do see that those interaction channel will be adopted more and more, and they're already being adopted more and more by physicians. So that's a big, very real shift.
So Rakesh, I fully agree. Face-to-face remaining kind of the solid basis for customer engagement. That also means that the role of the customer-facing person in this case, right, who's doing the face-to-face remains important. Maybe take us a little bit into your thinking around that particular role. What does it mean also in the context of technology, obviously advancing? How do you see that role now and in the future?
That's a great question, Brian. As you know, expectation from many professions have evolved because of advent of newer technology, and pharmaceutical or healthcare customer-facing teams are also not untouched by that. And if you look at the expectation from a rep role or first-line manager role 15 years ago, they were very different. Today, the expectation is they are comfortable and using the technology, be it Viva CRM system or iPad or digital detail aids or sending emails, etc. So the job profile, which was essentially face-to-face only, has evolved to the orchestrator of omnichannel experience, which means that there is a new job profile, new competency model, new tools, new trainings, new technology required. And expectations of our customers, which is physicians and patients, has also evolved. They expect everything to be resolved fast. They expect everything to be sent electronically. No one uses snail mail. So I think the role has changed dramatically, and it will continue to evolve. It's not going to stop here, because CRM system will be more and more intelligent over a period of time. There will be newer and newer channels in one way. So agility is kind of the mindset required from customer-facing teams today, continuously thinking about the growth, how we grow the experience of our customers, our patient, and how do I grow as a person in my role. So it's very, very different than it was in past.
And I think you used the term orchestrator of the omnichannel experience, right? Because there's also this discussion, is the person in the field rather a channel, or is he an orchestrator? Right? And I think what you're saying is clearly an orchestrator who brings everything together in terms of the experience to your customers.
I do not think that rep could be considered as a channel. And rep, for me, is a strategic asset team. Rep is the face of the company. Okay, when all reps interact with our physicians or nurses or patients, wherever they are allowed to, they represent our company. Okay, so rep is the strategic asset. They got the best customer understanding. They're closest to the customer in terms of human-to-human contact. So they're just not another channel. They're your strategic asset and definitely orchestrator of customer experience. You can do everything right, but if your reps, your customer-facing team members are doing something wrong, everything else goes waste. So that's what my view is.
And hence also the investment that you mentioned into that role and into making sure that you're getting the most benefit out of these interactions.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you've mentioned the world around the reps and around us is changing. You mentioned chat as a new channel that has been added more recently, I would say. You also mentioned another interesting aspect, which is speed, right? The ability to react to customer needs with speed. Now, one thing we recently published in our latest Steel Trends report, which you may know, is that inbound traffic significantly decreased the overall engagement with certain customers. So not replacing other channels, but rather giving a customer in the HCP the ability to ask questions, reach out, and very quickly, hence the speed dimension, very quickly receiving an answer, and leading to an overall improved engagement and interaction. How do you see that inbound element in today's work and maybe also in the future work? How important of a tool could that become, or is it maybe already in your perspective?
I think it's growing in its importance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the change was driven by WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you know it or not, but reps might be interacting with the physicians on WhatsApp or Viber or Kakao Talk, whatever instant messaging platform we're using, because it's easy, it's convenient, it's fast, and almost every SCP is using it.
Yeah.
So in real life, the inbound traffic is there.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how do we ensure that this communication is compliant, and how this communication is creating good experience and also giving some actionable insights. So that's where the challenge is. So my view is this channel will certainly continue to grow. And this is a great channel for our customers to reach out to us at their convenience, ask the question which probably they do not have, and I'm talking to them, my rep is talking to them face to face, but later on they said, oh, I forgot to ask this question, so I can just send that question, get this. So I think it's a great channel and it can grow in its importance, even interesting. And we're mentioning another interesting topic in there, which is the topic of compliance. And compliance, for very good reasons, is a very important topic for our beloved industry, has always been, is still today. And how do you see the compliance in this context, especially since technology is advancing further, chat being one of the newer channel additions to the mix? How do you see the role of compliance, and how do you maybe, in your role at Boehringer Ingelheim, also keep the balance between doing new things according to customer preferences, but on the other hand, making sure it's compliant? So compliance is non-negotiable, right? And zero tolerance. This is not something which is optional. We have to start with 100% compliant, and we have to always stay 100% compliance. There is nothing called 99% compliance or 101%. It's always 100% compliance. So what does it mean? It means that we need platforms which are not only user-friendly, but also compliant. I mean, today WhatsApp is user-friendly, but is it compliant? Probably not. Okay. And when you bring compliance, it might have some adverse short-term impact on the user experience, because they might find it annoying. Yeah. But the reality is, ultimately, we will achieve that ideal utopic situation where we have a great customer experience and a very compliant inbound chatting platform as well. It's not there right now, primarily because of compliance reasons, but I think it will change with time.
Okay. What's the gap we have to close here? What do we need to focus on to actually get there?
I think most customers want flexibility, freedom. Yep. And I mean, we have seen there are people, those who use iOS and Apple, okay, although they don't like everything about Apple, but they still use it. And a lot of it is because of the branding, the cult image of Apple, and the stability, security, etc. So people do accept some imperfections in Apple. They never get their product right first time. Recent example is iPhone 15, which had heating issues and lack of transfer of data from the old iPhone to the new iPhone. But still, there is a significant group of users that are loyal to that product. On the other hand, we have Android, lion's market share, because it gives you flexibility. You can make your own widgets, you can make your own apps. So which one is right? I don't know. Yeah, it depends on your personal preferences and how important is compliance for you. Yeah, I'm an Apple person by the mean.
Okay.
All out Apple, with MacBook, iPad, iPhone. I've never ever used Android because I really like the deal with Apple. It's not perfect, but it's a safe, secure, stable, predictable, good value for money type of deal. So I think that's what my view is.
Okay. And in many cases, very seamless experience, right? To connect to what we were saying earlier.
Absolutely
Seamless integration that you hardly notice, which in a technology perspective, right?
Absolutely.
Probably absolutely for you. Okay. Now, if we look a little bit about how you do all of this at Boehringer Ingelheim, right? So tell us a little bit about how we work towards achieving these goals. What does need to come together also internally? How do you think about that, and how do you make it happen at Boehringer Ingelheim?
So a few months ago, I had done one webinar with my colleagues from medical team and IT team. And as a company, we're very proud of our one team mindset. Yeah. We not only put posters on the wall, but actually we try very hard to live that value of one team. So nothing big can ever be achieved by one person or one department. You always need help, and you also need to provide help to other people. So that's really critical. So having a clear governance system which defines what good looks like, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, how do we manage exceptions. That's really critical to achieve this type of transformation.
Okay. So you mentioned medical and that you've been or have been engaging with them. Who needs to sit at the table? If we think about customer excellence, customer-facing excellence, who needs to be there, and maybe how has that changed also over the course of the past years?
Customers don't care whether you are coming from medical department or commercial department, but then you represent a company. So medical, commercial, IT, finance, compliance, all of us are in the same boat. Well, so it doesn't have to pinpoint that, hey, you have a bone on your side. But then it doesn't matter where is the hole, when the boat sinks, everyone sinks, right? So it's really important to have that mindset that no one is more important than other department. Everyone is equally important. Okay, so this is the we mindset, not the me mindset. There's a difference between me mindset and we mindset. So we need to have we mindset, and we definitely need medical as an integral part of customer engagement model. We need IT because if IT is not there, how can you run the technology, the system, the tool? Yeah. So for me, it's really critical. Commercial is marketing, sales, and several other function. Medical is definitely on the team, and IT is definitely on the team. And sometime a controller, because they need to control the cost as well. Otherwise, we can burn a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay. Now at Boehringer Ingelheim, you're in a situation where you're shifting your portfolio more towards specialty care applications in the future. Launches ahead on the horizon in the future in the next years. How do you see the relationship, if you think about customer-facing excellence, to clinical? Lots of things happening also at Boehringer Ingelheim on the clinical side. How is that connection, that neighborhood, becoming more important than not?
I'm not 100% clear how will it evolve, but I have some thoughts. Yeah, and my thoughts are that collaboration between customer-facing teams, clinical, medical, will become very natural. I recall when I was a rep, I never talked to anyone in America. There were no MSL. Yeah, I was only talking to the product managers. I was only talking to my sales managers. But today, our reps are interaction with MSLs. We look at Viva Timeline. and they know when was the last time my MSL visited this customer. They do talk to each other on queries which cannot be answered by commercial customer-facing teams. I think in future, with specialty care products, where data will be coming out at a rapid pace, and that data need to be utilized at lightning pace, the collaboration and communication between the customer-facing teams will become critical and not an option, but something to be business as usual.
Okay. If we stay with that theme and look forward, at our Viva Commercial Summit, we're talking a lot about next generation commercial. What does it mean for you? What is upon the horizon that you think are the next level of challenges that will keep us busy the next years?
Simplifying things. That's my biggest challenge. Keep it simple. That's what I always try and do. My team always tries and make. And how can we make it simpler if we need to use technology? And I don't, people have different views about AI. I'm a firm believer that AI is already there. It's already changing the way we live, the way we interact with Amazon or MasterCard or Deutsche Bank. It's changing. So how is it possible that our industry and our customer-facing teams will not be impacted in that? So AI is going to be really make things simpler for us. Yeah. And my expectation and hope is the future CRM system are so intelligent that they can help in our customer-facing teams in doing effective cross-functional customer engagement planning, provide them live recommendations. They are not the rule-based recommendation, not the retrospective, but the prospective recommendations, and give them insights. How can they be more effective? I think that's the level of simplicity I'm looking for. And I'm not looking for very heavy tech, which is thousands of screens and hundreds of apps and functionalities that no one uses. That's what is my expectation from next gen commercial excellence. Simplicity.
Okay, thank you for that. Within the realms of what you're comfortable sharing, how are you trying to transform your end at Boehringer Ingelheim towards customer experience optimization? What is it in broad strokes that you are doing in the next couple of years? So keeping it simple, I think, is definitely one theme. What else are you trying to put into action?
I think the focus is always on customers. So we really want to ensure that our internal and external tools and technology that they use is stable, easy to use, and providing actionable insights. But that's definitely is a focus area. The second thing is building the soft skills. Yeah, often we get so obsessed with tools and technology, forget the human side. Yeah, at least for the foreseeable future, AI would be a servant to the mankind, not the ruler. It can happen if it goes out of control, but the intention of AI is to make us even more effective. So keeping an eye, or eyes and ears open for what future holds in terms of artificial intelligence. And of course, your CRM system is going to play an important role in how do we interact with our customer-facing, how do we interact with our customers and create a good customer experience. So these are like the top priorities for Munson.
Okay, thank you. Maybe to round off our conversation, and there's one question we like to ask always. We call it the start-stop question.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had the power to press the start button, and on maybe the start with the stop button, if you had the power to press the stop button on one thing we're doing today in this industry, what should we stop doing tomorrow? And then likewise, what should we start doing as of tomorrow? If you kind of had the power to decide, what would that be?
So if I had a stop button, first thing I'll stop is creation of content that will never be used. Our industry spends a lot of money, time and efforts on creating contents that never gets used. So create what will get used and stop wastage. That's one thing that I would like to stop.
Okay. It's a big lever. Okay. Lots of money also.
Lots of money also now. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What would you start doing?
I would like to think about the user experience. So who's using Viva CRM system or iPad or any other technology we develop, Concur, Outlook, anything. We don't ask our users enough, how do you feel? How do you think about this tool, this technology? Are you happy with that? So we sit in rooms with technicians, subject matter experts, but we hardly have users on the table. And we don't ask our reps, what do you think about Viva? Is it making your life better or worse? Yeah. If we were to make it more user-friendly for you, what could we do? Similarly, for first-line managers, how can we make more meaningful for you? I'm using Viva just an example, but it applies to every tools and technology like we are inventing. That is something we need to really start immediately.
Okay, and that's a good start wish, I think. And finally, Rakesh, congratulations are also in order. You've been elected a Viva Hero this year for kind of the contributions you've made also together with Viva, and you've made it abundantly clear that it was a team effort. Now tell us maybe in some final words, what was the impact you had this year that you were recognized for, and what's next on your journey?
Thank you very much for recognizing me and our Viva Hero. It's definitely gives me a great feeling. And it's not me, it's definitely the team from my own team, Peter and Saskia, Rafiko, and also from your side, Vanessa, and other colleagues that we work with them. It's always one team effort to improve overall impact of anything that we do. What I'm really proud of what we as a team have achieved in last 1 year or so is focus on user experience. So we've asked our users, what do you think about your experience so far? What can we do better? Yeah. And that has helped us in definitely driving adoption of CRM system. Definitely encouraging people to be more open about how can we make this overall experience much, much better. Yeah, and it's visible in the Pulse report as well, so I don't have to talk much about it. You can look at Pulse report, and that clearly demonstrates the impact we are having.
Okay, congratulations again. Rakesh, thank you very much for joining me today and for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope we'll meet again very soon.
Thank you very much, Florian. I'm really honored to be here with you. It was really great talking to you.